So I'm along Business 322, just south of State College, and I am starting out my day trip of doing different historical markers around Center County. Here I'm at the 28th Division Shrine, which is in front of the Boalsburg Military Museum, which is to my right. This sign says, dedicated to the heroic dead of the Pennsylvania's famed 28th in 2 World Wars. The division was created September 1917. The shrine was founded by Colonel Theodore Boal and made a state memorial in 1932. There's a tank, and then there's the museum. There's different markers all on the property, so that's what I'm going to do today. Stay tuned for more. Alright, I am starting out. Alright, I'm starting with the tank M4A1 76W Sherman tank. I've seen pictures and videos online of this thing, and I get to see one up close. Nearly 50,000 M4 Sherman tanks saw service in all theaters of the world. World War II and Korea. They served as main battle tank in the United States Army and Marines Corps, Pennsylvania Foundries in Coraopolis, Eddystone, Lebanon, Sharon, Burnham, and Pittsburgh all produced Sherman tanks parts during the war. The Union steel castings in Pittsburgh made the turret of this tank. This latest version of the Sherman tank never saw action in World War II. Its placement here honors the 707th Tank Battalion. The 707th supported Pennsylvania's 28th Infantry Division during the brutal fighting in Hurtgen Forest in 1944. I think I said that right. It looks like it could be German. That's pretty cool. Now, of course, it says do not climb on the displays. That is a big no-no. I think it's disrespectful if you do it too. Her name is Abigail. That is cool. I think the one version of a Sherman tank was on Pawn Stars. Alright, I'm at the USS Pennsylvania through time sign. You can obviously see 322's back there. So I'm going to start reading. I'm going to do the highlights, like the bold parts, and maybe a sentence of 2 of each one. USS Pennsylvania, 1837 to 1861. The USS Pennsylvania was 3,241 ton burden, 120 gun ship of the line. Was built at the Philadelphia Navy Yard. This largest of the U.S. Navy warships, okay, I'm totally not reading this right, was authorized in 1816, laid down some 6 years later, and spent 15 years under construction. Okay, I'm going to finish this one. This one's quite interesting. Pennsylvania was commissioned in 1837 at year's end, undertook her only sea voyage, a trip from Delaware Bay to the Chesapeake Bay. Decommissioned after arrival at the Gosport Navy Yard near Norfolk. The big ship was laid up there until 1842, when she began a career as a receiving ship. On April 20th, 1861, as Confederate forces threatened the Norfolk Navy Yard, USS Pennsylvania was burned to the waterline to prevent capture. Her wreck was later salvaged and broken up. Okay, that is interesting. I tried to read it the best I could. Sun's in my face. The USS Pennsylvania as renamed the USS Pittsburgh. So the USS Pennsylvania 1905 to 1912, and then Pittsburgh 1912 to 1931. I'm only going to read the first line of this one. USS Pennsylvania, a 13,680 ton armored cruiser, was built in Philadelphia, probably the same yard. Going to go USS Pennsylvania 1916 and 1948. See battleship USS Pennsylvania B-38 panel. USS Pennsylvania 1989 to present. The USS Pennsylvania SSBN 735 was commissioned in 1989 and is one of our country's largest submarines. Oh, nice. Take a picture of that, and I'm going to take a picture toward the top. Yeah, the sun's like right behind the sign. There's the B-38 they're talking about on the other side. That's a nice picture. Gun barrels on display. There we go. Let's see what is on the other side. Battle of the USS Pennsylvania B-38. All right. Pearl Harbor. Ooh, number 1. Oh, she survived Pearl Harbor. I was on the USS Cassin Young. That was one of the ships that also survived Pearl Harbor. Last I knew, it's still in Boston. I think it's a permanent display over there. I haven't been to Boston in probably close to 15 years. I need to get back out there. But number 1, Pearl Harbor. Morning of December 7th, 1941, the USS Pennsylvania was in dry dock in the Pearl Harbor Navy Yards. Japanese dive bombers and bombers suddenly roared out of the high overcast. The Pennsylvania was one of the first ships to open fire. Japanese planes tried repeatedly to torpedo the dry dock, but never succeeded. This ship was strafed. I think that's how you say strafed severely, and a bomb struck the starboard side of the boat deck. The destroyers Cassin, that's the one I was on, Cassin Young, and Downs, also in dry dock, were hit and severely damaged. Fuel tanks and torpedoes on the deck of the Downs exploded, which caused further damage to the Pennsylvania. When the raid ended almost 2 hours later, damage in Pearl Harbor was appalling. I thought there'd be a U in there. But anyways, the Arizona, Pennsylvania's sister ship, was smashed beyond hope. Oklahoma capsized. The West Virginia and California were resting on the bottom, and the Nevada had been beached. Of the 8 battleships in the harbor, only the Pennsylvania, Tennessee, and Maryland received minor damage. Number 2, which is way up, pretty much almost to Alaska. There's number 2. Number 3 is right there. Yeah. Now, look closely at this. You see the how the ship is designed just a little different throughout the years on its side and the top, as well as on the deck. So this would have been right after Pearl Harbor, this design. They go from 2 of these. I don't know anything really about ships or anything, especially in the military. It goes from 2 to basically 1 here, and this is 1945, so 42, 45. Try not to get the sun in the shot, but this is the gun barrels that are on display from the Pennsylvania. Turn around. And then there's the museum in the background. That is cool. I like how they put the stars there. That's cool. You can't miss these things when you come into the park. Headquarters, Troop 28th Division, Home Station, Sunbury, which is in Northumberland County. Memorial to the men who served with this organization and to those who gave their lives while in service during the First World War. This simple cross, found broken in the debris of an obliterated French village through which our troops passed, is erected to the memory of our comrades of Company A 107 MGBN. I don't understand that part. Hayes Wilson, Eugene Davis, Claude Colley, Ralph Dunlap, James Thorpe, Michael Miller, William Conway, Bromley Smith, Donald Heil, Arthur Monroe, General Simcox, Louis Crossavolt. Okay. They died in France for liberty in 1918. (112th Machine Gun Company campaign, date 1918. 20 men killed in action. Get a little closer. Champagne Marine, Ensigny Marine, Ossie, Lorian. Apologies if I can't say their names right. Muse Argonne, Lorraine. Without actually hearing the names, I don't want to be killing it too bad, like making it sound bad. 103rd Engineers, 28th Division, major engagements in World War I. I think those are the same names as the last marker. M114A2 towed 155 howitzer. Global War on Terrorism, Headquarters, 28th Infantry Division, 2nd Battalion, 28th CAB, 55th ABCT, 56th SBCT. Pretty much all of these guys are in the Middle East. There's Iraq, Afghanistan. I'm looking for Iran. I don't think Iran will be on here. There's some markers over there I'm getting to. 109th. Let's see what this one's. Let's try to zoom in. 109th Infantry, World War I, to 103rd Engineer Combat Battalion, Washington Grays, Revolutionary War, 1777, War of 1812, 1st Regiment Infantry, Spanish-American War, 1898, Mexican Border, 1916. I like that. That's pretty cool. I'm slowly making my way around the loop walkway memorials. I ran into them ladies like twice. Bazooka Boogie in memory of the brave musicians of the 28th Division Band who helped defending Wiltz. That was in December of 1944. Let me get a little closer. This monument is a replica of the stone placed on solemn ground, gives it the latitude, in Wiltz, Luxembourg. Oh, Germany. September 29, 2004. Have to put them coordinates in and see where it is. If anybody in another country out in Europe is watching this, wonder if you've been in the area of this marker. 28th Infantry Division. They died in France for liberty. This place of remembrance honors the 28th Division veterans who of World War I and II. The grounds of the shrine and museum once belonged to the estate of Colonel Theodore Davis Boal, 1867 to 1938. There he is in that picture. Convinced that U.S. would eventually abandon its neutral position and enter World War I, Boal established a cavalry training camp on the eastern part of his estate in 1916. He began to recruit volunteers to train as members of the horse-mounted machine gun troop, 1st Pennsylvania Cavalry, State College. It eventually became Company A, 107th Machine Gun Battalion, and the 28th Infantry Division. Boal Troop. The Boal Troop was accepted as provisional unit of the Pennsylvania National Guard. It became the machine gun troop of the 1st Pennsylvania Cavalry. The troop first served in Texas as part of the response to the action of Pancho Villa on the Mexican border. In April of 1917, Colonel Boal predicted the United States entered World War I. The Boal Troop was reconfigured as an infantry unit, Company A of the 107th Machine Gun Battalion, 28th Infantry Division. The Boal Troop set sail for France in May of 1918 with the rest of the 28th Division. The unit fought on the bloody battlefields of Argonne Forest in the fall of 1918. Okay, I've heard of that battle. 12 of the unit's 172 soldiers died in action during the closing months of the war. There's a picture, I guess, of the whole troop. Battle of the Bulge, a triumph of courage. Veterans of the Battle of the Bulge, Ardennes? I've heard that word, but I don't know how to say it. This undoubtedly the greatest American battle of the war, and will, I believe, be the single greatest American victory of the war. Sir Winston Churchill. Okay, that's cool. The Keystone in the way. There's more to come of this park. I can't believe about seeing all these memorials. This is going to be a long video. At the end it says World War I, and I'm guessing these are these people's last names. I'm going to go try to get as much of it as I can. This is the 110th Infantry, 28th Division, Normandy. Okay, unless these are battlefields. Because Normandy, I know that name. Central Europe. Yeah, this is World War II. So this half, yeah, this half's World War II, and that half's World War I. But yeah, okay. Normandy, Central France, yeah. Northern. All right. This one has a lot of memorials. I'll have to figure out what this one's called. Oops, sorry. 1917, 1944. It gives different years up on top and different symbols. Battery B, Pittsburgh. Battery C, Phoenixville. Headquarters Company, Pittsburgh. Now it shows on these wounded officers, enlisted personnel. Supply Company, Pittsburgh. Battery D, Williamsport. Battery E, Pittsburgh. Battery F, Pittsburgh. The 107th United States Field Artillery, 53rd Brigade, 28th Division, American Expeditionary Forces. 107th United States Field Artillery, 53rd Brigade, Regimental Headquarters, Sanitary Detachment. Battery A, Bethlehem, or Bethlehem. I'm going to go back the way I went. 1916, 1898, 1861. Let me see if I can get closer since the sun's in my shot. Oh, it's gonna be really bad because the sun. Peace on this side. Will it let me do it? Will it let me do it? And you can kind of see it. 1941. And back to 1917. Yeah, sun's in the shot. So I'm gonna get as many as I can and take pictures. If I miss a few, I'm probably gonna come back and get some more. But I'm only gonna pretty much focus on the ones in this circle and then do a panorama of the big one. And then I'm gonna head out to my other spot. Yeah, next time I'm gonna bring Mike so we can go. I've been here before for a car show, but I never went in. And these guys, there was a display at the farm show this year, and I was talking to one guy, and I'm like, I live right over the hill, you know, right on the Center County Clinton County line. I need to come out here. He said you definitely should. It's got a lot of stuff, and obviously while walking around, finally getting to see this place on the outside, yes, I would even highly recommend it before I even walk in the door. Yeah, this place is incredible. You definitely gotta check it out. Okay, so this is a combo between 1747 and the Mexican border campaign. So Associator 1747, I'll have to look into that one. That one probably, I'm thinking, is probably the, well, I would think it's the French and Indian War era, somewhere in there, because that's my home area in New York was a part of it, you know, that with the Indians and the Americans and the French, whatever. Revolutionary War, War of 1812. You got the Civil War campaigns, Manassas, Antietam, Fredericksburg, Chancellorsville, Gettysburg, Virginia, 1863, Spotsylvania, Petersburg, Vicksburg. The ones I don't know is the Peninsula. I don't know Wilderness. I don't know Cold Harbor. That's the ones I don't know by just by looking at it. And on the right, you have Spanish-American War, Mexican border campaign. I know there's something on the back. This bench is Company F, 103rd Ammunition Train. That one has another name right here. I'm going to walk over to this. Okay, this is the Civil War. Ooh, got hair in my mouth. Organized December 11th, 1840. 1st Volunteer Infantry, 102nd of the line, 2nd Infantry, 19th Pennsylvania Volunteers, 90th Pennsylvania Volunteers, Army of the Potomac, 29 major engagements. That's interesting. 2nd Infantry, Spanish-American War, 2nd Infantry, Mexican border, June 30th, 1916. Okay, I have to look into that one. I don't know that war. 2nd Pennsylvania, 108th World War I, 5 campaigns. 108th Battalion. They had World War II, 5 campaigns in Germany. It was probably the last one. Yeah, 1951. So Cold War. With 51. That's the Korean conflict. Let's see what's on the back. Because a lot of these are really cool. They say basically what they are. Yeah, say the same names we've been seeing there. Let me back it up just a bit so I would get the whole thing. And then I think on the back of the Civil War, Revolutionary War one, we'll walk back over to this one. Okay, here we go. World War I campaigns, 111th Infantry. In remembrance of those members of this regiment who lost their lives defending their country's honor, fighting against tyranny, and for justice and liberty of all nations, the weak as well as the mighty. That's cool. I like that. That's very nice. World War II. It looks like it's in German. Okay, so I'm only a few feet from the last set. This is Civil War, Spanish-American War, Mexican War, Border Service, Mexican Border Service. I get that one mixed up because it's, yeah. Anyways, dedicated to the honor of the men who served in this regiment, World War I, II, and NATO. Let's see what this one has on the back. Like I said, a lot of them have the decorations and stuff on the back. 112th Infantry, 28th Division, forever honored, forever mourned, for God and country. And I think that's it until you get toward the corner. There's one on the corner, but I don't think I'm going to head that way. I'm going to head back toward the building. Excuse me. It's nice there's a little stream right next to you. But now I'm going to head back toward the big memorial and do a pan. Then I'm going to get over toward the cannons, and then I'm going to head to my next spot. Stay tuned for that video. Honoring the 28th. After the war, Colonel Boal held a reunion at the camp of the for the officers and the men of the original Boal troop. During the first of many reunions, men dedicated a monument to their 12 fallen comrades. Since then, the shrine has grown to include memorials representing many of the smaller units that make up the 28th Infantry Division. The grounds remained active through much of the 1930s with an addition of an officers' club and expansion of the training grounds. Yearly reunions for the 28th Infantry Division veterans continued, and the site evolved into a shrine as new monuments were dedicated. In 1931, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania purchased the grounds. At first, it was placed under the jurisdiction of the Department of Military Affairs, and in 1957 it was transferred to the Pennsylvania Historical and Museum Commission. There we go. Colonel Boal died before his long-cherished dream of establishing a museum on the grounds was realized. In 1969, the Pennsylvania Military Museum formally opened to the public and is dedicated in honor of all Pennsylvanians answering the call to serve. So I think that would probably be one of the original memorials then, because that's pretty much right there in the middle. Right there. General, I don't want to say Seekerfos Memorial with partial memorial wall in the background, 1930s. The general was the only American general to be killed in combat during World War I. Okay, that's cool. That's sad, but it's quite interesting to learn that. So yeah, there's the museum up there. And this is just a wall with a lot of dedications. This is a M42A Duster 44mm self-propelled gun. Interesting. General Motors Tank Division, ACF Industries. Alright, I did not know General Motors made tanks. Excuse me. The name Duster comes from the huge cloud of dust raised by the vehicles as they moved at 45 miles per hour over crude dirt roads in the Mekong Delta. The gun turret could rotate 360 degrees and elevate to 85 degrees when deployed against aircraft. However, it was its ability to depress the guns as low as -5 degrees that made it invaluable in close jungle warfare. Oh my god, I cannot talk today. Again, please do not climb on the displays. Violation of state and federal laws. That's a big no-no. Now check out this tank. This one's pretty much a box on wheels, I would say. Let's see here. M59 Armored Personal Carrier. Okay, that's what it is. open-topped half-track personnel carriers in use during World War I did not adequately protect occupants from enemy fire. Yeah, that just don't look right. The U.S. Army developed APCs, or armored personnel carriers, to solve this problem. These sturdy vehicles were built like small tanks. In them, infantry soldiers could travel to battle to relative safety from small arms of fire and shrapnel. FMC Corporation built them. The M59 series APC was an improvement over earlier, more costly models, but the cheaper domestic engines installed the vehicles left them underpowered. As a result, M59 never saw combat and was replaced by the M113 series in the 1960s. The sign for this one is over here. Ordnance QF 4.5-inch howitzer Mark II.